Imagine a league built by the people, for the people. A league dedicated to the economic development of your city. So the question becomes, how good are the 32 teams that play in the minor football league? Well, there's only one way to find out. You have to experience the MFL.
Welcome to another edition of Inside the MFL. I'm Dr. Richard Myles, CEO, Chairman, and founder of the Minor Football League. The day is Wednesday. I want to say happy Wednesday, but don't forget, do not forget, you have to wear these face masks. COVID-19 is real. I understand. I had some friends of mine to come to pass because of it. I want everybody to understand this is serious, and don't take this a joke. And please don't forget to wear your face masks out there because it's really dangerous out there, and a lot of people are not taking it as serious as they should take it. You have people out there with no face masks. I mean, I can see sometimes you don't want to wear the glove, but you have to wear your face mask. Come on, somebody might give it to you, or you might give it to somebody else. So hopefully y'all understand the seriousness of this COVID-19, and you guys take the precaution that you need to take. Welcome to another edition of Inside the MFL. I got some great guests today. I got some of my board members, because a lot of people think that everything is done by me. I wish I could deserve that, take all that credit. Also, you see me with my cancer. It's prostate cancer month, and we always are part of that. And you see, I got my shirt on. I want everybody to see it. We've been a big sponsor of that for the last 3 years, and especially men of color. We don't like going to the doctor, but you have to get that colon checked. I have an appointment myself again in a couple of weeks, and I just want y'all to understand, please take it serious. Go get your prostate checked. And right now, even if you can't afford to pay for it, they have some places, they have things in place where the checkups and the screening are free. So this is some information I want to pass on to everybody and get them to understand this is serious. Now, I have one of my board members on. Been hard to get her on there, on the show and everything, because she is so busy doing a great job with the Minor Football League. I mean, open the door to Africa for us. As y'all know, we are going there. And I mean, when it comes to moving and shaking, Dr. Remi, are you there with us? Are you there with us, Doctor? Wait a minute, just. Okay, can you hear me, Dr. Remi?
Yes. Okay, yeah, I was there. Yeah.
How you doing? Now, I'm going to get used to this.
I am good.
This technology now, I'm getting used to it, so bear with me, Dr. Remi. How you doing?
I'm very well. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Myles, and congrats on all your great work.
Oh, thank you. I want to know if everybody's safe, your family's safe, everybody, because of this pandemic. And like I say, this COVID-19 is serious, But I've been trying to make sure I get you on the show and everything. I realize and I tell the MFL Nation that we're gonna get some of our board members on and talk about the great things that we're doing. Would you tell me a little bit about your background, Dr. Remi?
Sure. First, let me say thank you. It's an honor to be on your board and to be part of this great vision that you have for the world. And of course, for your Africa is a very special desire that you have to transform and to have them deal with people that look like them. So my background goes to being a former vice president with Bank of America for about 17 years, a serial entrepreneur now, have my own nonprofit foundation and do a lot of international consulting, a mother, a wife, and a community leader, and just serving my way through life and loving every minute of it. And thank you for adding me to this esteemed list of people that you have on your board. I'm so honored, Dr. Myles. Thank you very much.
Oh, well, I would be remiss if your name did not go on that board. All the work you've been doing with the Minor Football League and all the introductions with these ambassadors. I mean, without you, I mean, a lot of this don't go. And I tell everybody, this right here, this has so many layers to it, the MFL. And a lot of people don't understand. That's why we are the laboratory of change. We want to bring former players from the field to the front office. Also, we want to open up, give people an opportunity in other parts of business here with the MFL, and by marketing, PR. We want. I think we need to definitely have more people of color being sports management. That's another thing that we're doing, and we want to teach these players that we want to teach them beyond the football field, because you can't play this game forever. I can tell you that. You know what I mean? So we want to prepare these young men for entrepreneurship as well. And entrepreneurship, when we tell them about business, we don't mean the business, we mean the business, which you expand a little more on that, Dr. Remi. I mean, why you think that we have been so successful thus far with the MFL, and not only domestic, but going over to the African continent? I'm excited about going there. I'm excited about going there. Yeah. So, or is a little bit why you think that we're so successful for our other guests get on?
My answer will be simply because of the authenticity that you and the leadership bring to this, and the ability to dare to be different. I remember you shared a story of people who were trying to buy you out and give you all this stuff, but you had a vision, and that vision is coming to fruition. So that's why. And there's a lot of great things that are being intentional with MFL. When you're doing your hiring, you're making sure there are people of color, you're making sure that women are represented. And now that you're even pushing to go to Africa, you're making it so big a deal that you're like, we are going to Africa. You want to be able to serve people who look like you, and not just anybody. And everyone on the continent that you have had an encounters with, they are excited. They are looking for, sports is a unifier. It's a common denominator. Everybody would learn and love sports. You don't have to be in any language or so forth. So the leadership of MFL is what I believe is the number one key factor. You have a great team of leaders around you, like Charles Olawole and so many other great men and women around you that are intentional. And that's what I would say, your intentionality of knowing what you want. A lot of people don't know what they want sometimes, Dr. Myles. They really don't. They just, they see everything. But you have always known what you want from day one, and you work at it. You don't just talk the talk, you walk the walk. You're all over the place, necessary to plant your seed, not even what you're going to get. You are a super duper networker that I would call intentional networker. And that is why we're growing the way we're growing, because you're just human. You're a former NFL player. You're still like a regular human being. You are like next to God, but you carry yourself like a regular human being, and people can see the sincerity in that. And please don't change that as we go further to other nations. That's what's going to be the melting point. And you have so many other great leaders that are doing it big. I'm just so excited about all the successes that are happening off and on stage that you're part of. And the team, when I say you, not you singularly, you walk as a team, and you're a great team player. You let everybody stay in their lane. You let them play in their lane. And we all, with your support, we play in our lane well with your blessing. So I'm excited. I'm really, really excited.
Well, I want to say thank you. Also, before we expand on that, I also want to bring in Robert Gatewood, our money guru. How you doing there, sir?
Hey, Dr. Myles. Good afternoon. And good afternoon to Dr. Remi.
How are you, sir? Welcome. Yes, sir.
We was just talking about, and Remi was nice enough, Dr. Remi was nice enough to have me on her show at the African Union. I seen something that, I'm going to be honest, I had no idea about. So I was honored when Dr. Remi invited me on her show, and I came up there. I hope I ain't, get too carried away up there. I mean, we
had fun.
And more importantly, we you know, it's like a family here at this atmosphere. We along with Dr. Charles Olawole, which he's going to be the commissioner over in Africa, and he's also a MFL franchise owner. But more importantly, we all follow suit to God's you. We all follow suit. You know what I mean? And we want, and I just want to say, you know, thank God for God's you and Miss Chancellor Dr. Eubanks. I just want to say that I'm learning more and more and more. You know what I mean? In terms of what, you know, I already know what the vision is, and you know, we got there. And I also want to say to Chaplain, so I don't want him to think I forgot Mr. Robert Gatewood. He's one of the chaplains there. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So Remi, Dr. Remi, you do so much in the community. Every time I go somewhere, Dr. Remi there speaking. You know, we down there all the different, you know, government officials there at Montgomery County there, and Dr. Remi. That's Dr. Remi right there, right? So I went over to her. She said, "Hey, Dr. Remi, what you doing here?" So it just goes to show you she's a great advocate for the MFL. She always out there pushing the envelope. And I just want to say we're so glad to have you on this executive board. And I would be remiss if I did not say that, along with our other guests. You know, I want Robert Gatewood, chaplain. Why is it we still having this problem with them understanding about this economic development, Robert? I mean, why is it so? We got to talk about that. You know, we had guests on the show last week, and I had problems with this thing. Cause see, chaplain, Robert know about this kind of stuff. You get me up there, I got lost. I couldn't have no sound, Dr. Remi. So, but I guess he just went off up there in California. So I told Reggie, I said, "Yeah, Reggie, don't be trying to steal the show." But it was all good. But we don't want to move away from the objective. And I tell people all the time, I'm like I tell people all the time, I'm like a puzzle. I collect the pieces as I go. And if they don't fit, then we get rid of them. But, you know, getting to you, Robert, our money, why is it people still, but I'll take that back, Robert. People begin to call. People begin to notice this thing now. Well, what are we doing, Robert, for people to understand what we're doing here?
Well, it goes back to understanding where people are and trying to take them from where they are to where we want them to go. And I think that's one of the things that MFL has done an excellent job. We don't look down at people. We don't judge people. We don't second guess their motives, but we understand that we have some obstacles to overcome. We're still dealing with the influences of colonialism and racism and all types of isms. And so we have to take those things into consideration, but we have to stay on point. We have to keep talking our message, keep providing platforms for people like Dr. Remi to come on and let people see successful people embracing a successful concept. And so, yes, they are going to come. They're not going to come at I don't think they're ever going to come at the rate that we would like them to or as rapid, but they will come. I think we just have to stay on our message, stay on our point, keep projecting positivity, progress, and let people see success. Nothing succeeds like success. And so when I was listening to Dr. Remi and all the accolades you were bestowing upon her, you know, there's an old saying, if you want something done, you get a busy person to do it. So I think people have seen that in the good doctor. They keep tugging on her coattail. This lady's busy. She can bring some of that business over to us. So.
Absolutely. And before I get to Dr. Remi, I would be remiss if I didn't say a great NFL player passed today, Mr. Myles Sr. I remember one of the greatest running backs to ever play in the National Football League. And that's what we're talking about when we talk about the NFL, the laboratory change. But we want to send our condolences out to the Myles Sr. family, and we want him to know anything we can do, just give us a call. We don't know exactly what they might need, if anything at all. But just the thought, if you need us, we want you to know that you can contact us, the MFL. But also, I think that we as people of color, we got to understand that no one going to fight this for us. No one going to do this but us. And we understand that some of us still think if it ain't white, it ain't right. Some of us still think, and I tell people, because you my complexion, I'll make you my kind. We got to be aware of these type of things, even in our own ranks. And Dr. Remi, I know why is this so important for people to understand what I'm trying to convey to them in terms of we as Black people need to stick together, people of color?
I mean, that goes without saying. We all have the same common issues. I tell people, we're busy fighting over 1% of what was taken from us in Africa, when we still have 99% that we haven't scratched the surface. So when we do not stick together as people of color, those there want to do business with people who look like them. They want to see their brothers and sisters come back home and do what needs to be done. And the African nations, the businesses are opening up. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement, that is going to be huge. We all have to be strategically positioned. I mean, one nation alone has 200 million plus, and so many. So Africa is where it is. And all of us, we came from Africa. The source of origin is Africa. I don't care what color anybody is. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
That's true.
But as people of color who are blessed to have this skin tone, we should stick together. Because when we don't stick together, that relationship currency that we need to garnish, we would never garnish it. My helping you to succeed doesn't pull me down. It helps you to create platform where my gift can be served. If we have that mindset, and we are the best creation in the world, we are the smartest. God has given us everything we need, but there's something that likes to divide us, divide and conquer. And we're going to fight it, especially with what we just saw with this COVID, Dr. Myles, Mr. Gatewood. This is not the time for anybody to say they want to be divided. The Lord showed us that I will silence the whole world. I'll shut down everything for a minute to see who is in charge. And didn't he show us? And we're improvising. We're improvising now. So as people of color, this is the time to get more knowledge and create economic empowerment in our space. Without economic empowerment, Dr. Myles, Mr. Gatewood, we can't do anything. Whoever has the money controls the stuff. And we're smart enough, but we're not united. So because of the lack of unity, it makes things that could take us a day, take us 10, 20 years before we even get through it. The whole thing is scattered. But I'm thankful for platforms like this, because we're not going to talk about what's not working. We're talking about MFL, how you and your team have been intentional about building this, and not only just building it for the players with a training aspect, the laboratory of change, where we know that, yes, you can have all that money. God forbid you get hurt. You can have other things that you're investing in. As a farmer banker, you need to have 5 streams of income that are legitimate. 5 streams of income. So why won't you get involved with entrepreneurship? Why won't you get involved with leadership? So you know that it takes a village to create success. And that's what we have as African people, as people of African origin. We know the village concept. That's where it originated. That's where everybody came and copied off. We had every civilization set before they came. They took everything and left us divided, and we're still allowing ourselves to be divided. No, MFL you've raised the standard that no division, and you're growing across the aisle, ensuring that you're not just touching your brothers and sisters here, and lovers of Africa and lovers of Black people, whether you're of color or not. We're not going to discriminate. You could have another skin tone and be lovers of Black people. We'll take you. We'll take you because your heart is what we're dealing with. We're not God. We are just human beings. But if you support what we are doing, MFL is a foundational state of things. I see it as a place where when we get what we want, because we're going to get it right, it's just about the when we get the results out there, the many lives that we have talked about privately that needs to be changed will be changed. We have the smartest young people in the world. These young people, the African population on the continent, they have more youth than adults. I mean, and you know, with youth comes that spirit of exuberance. Mark Zuckerberg just announced that they're going to one country in Africa, Nigeria, and they are spending so much money to build a Facebook headquarters there. People don't send their money working for them in places that have no hope.
Right.
So why would we, the people who they are looking for, why would we not team together and take MFL to all of the corners of the earth, so that we, people of color, can begin, because MFL doesn't just come with the sportings. There's some paraphernalia that we've talked about. There are all the ancillary income generating opportunities that comes with that. So if we think from business perspective, we will support. So if you're listening to us and you are someone who has access to funding, you have access to investors who want their money to work for them and create legacy, they need to come find us, MFL. And we are ready, and Africa is open wide and ready for us. And I'll be silent and let you all talk. So I don't.
No, Dr. Remi, we want you to go because people need to hear that.
Yes.
And before Robert expand on that, I still, and y'all know y'all don't let me talk too much, Dr. Remi, because you know I get on. But in all honesty, we still got to stop thinking if it ain't white, it ain't right. We got to stop that. We got to get over that dividing, that what they've been doing with the people of Africa and the people of the United States of America. You still are African Americans here, but we still are Africa. And that's the problem. That vice that they rip between us, we got to stop that mistrust and stuff of each other. They want that. You know, co-coaching people, as you know, they have perpetuated because I mean that benefits them. And you know, I get carried away. Mr. Gatewood, I'll go ahead and let you expand because you know I get carried away. Y'all have to stop me.
You gotta slow you down.
Oh, you and Dr. Remi and Dr. Myles, you're both hitting on some very valid points that we can't emphasize enough. I love the term Dr. Remi used about relationship currency, because we're into this misconception that currency is only about money. Yes, money is good. It does a lot of things, but there are some steps to get to before you get to that money. And relationships is a very vital part. It's pivotal. And so when she's talking, I'm thinking about the various stakeholders in our community, stakeholders across the globe. We have to continue to bring those together. Now, we have to go into it also with our eyes wide open. There are some very insidious forces who are hell-bent on making sure that we don't come together with the people in Africa. Ever since we've been on this continent, since 1619, these forces have been at work, and they have never relented. And they're not going to relent now. But we, like Doctor said, we are smarter. We are smarter. We have the brain trust. We just have to keep at it, use the platforms like we have today, use your show, my show, and other like-minded people, and let's create this synergistic force that's greater than anything that can be formed against us. We have the power to do it. It starts with the mindset and continuing to doing what the MFL is doing, such as being the laboratory of change, understanding this is not about sports only. Sports is the means to an end. The end is to create this international generational wealth for our community. And this is just a great platform for that change to take place. And I'm glad that you're bringing on brilliant people like Dr. Remi and the rest of the MFL team. So it's going to happen. It's just a matter, like she said, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
It's the one.
And we also want to, I would be remiss if I did not bring up Dr. Freeman, one of the franchise holders, let people know this is obtainable, and we have to take our hat off to him. And we also want to welcome him to the executive board. We're excited about our board members that's coming here, that's coming aboard, Jamie Dukes, and we have some great people, influential people, and people had the same like minds that we had. And Chancellor Dr. Eubanks, we want to welcome her to our executive board. Dr. Remi, I'm going out there now. I'm beating you to it.
Right.
Remi tell her to get out there and she get these people. But we want to welcome her aboard. And we have a few other new people we'll be announcing pretty soon. But in talking about what we talk about the MFL, well, I am so excited about the MFL going to Africa. People talking about that. We've been talking about it for a long time. And as you know, Dr. Remi, you had me on the show. I told him, MFL will go. We're not worried about other businesses here in America, black business, whether they go or not. We're going to go. Now, whether they come, follow suit or not, that's not the MFL concern. Because we, people of color, are the most resilient people on earth. They enslaved us. They murdered us. We're still here. So we are people. That tell you something. You know, hear me preaching there, Doctor. We are
preach it, brother.
But imagine that when they see all these black folks come back to Africa. Okay? I walk to that door, no return, that you hear people talk about so sadly and all the things I heard about it. And I know, Dr. Remi, you probably can expand on that a little more. But I want to take, and I want to walk through that door. Matter of fact, I was talking about Robert, Mr. Gatewood. I said, I want to walk through that. I want to see people of color coming back. Because we know what the China objective is over there. They're trying to take off, but we as people of color in America need to go back. We have engineers, we have doctors, we have all these people, brilliant-minded people. What you over here for? Their help is needed there. You know, most of the time, you did all you could do here. Not saying abandon or leave America, but I'm saying they need our help.
Yes.
I'm telling people, if we don't stand together, then you're going to fall for anything. And I cannot speak for other business, and they always talk about Black Wall Street. Well, this is where it started again. Yeah. Where it started again.
Again.
Black Wall Street, it's gone. Now, this is the laboratory of change.
Yes.
You know, and I know you might want to expand on that a little more, Dr. Remi, but this is the laboratory of change here. That's what the MFL is.
It is. I mean, you said it all. It's the laboratory of change, not just what MFL brings to everyone, individual, community, nations, and so forth, is that collective power of wanting to do the right things all the time for everyone, especially the underserved, knowing that together we can build a better world, knowing that wherever you are, we can take you as you are. For instance, if we have people who buy into the MFL and have some franchise in the African nation, we will be having those tournaments, those games outside of the country. So that really gives us the opportunity to create wealth, not just for ourselves, even for there. And before you know it, you have half home, you have a vacation home and a primary home, and you get to get away when you need to relax your mind. You relaxing your mind and still making money. How cool is that? Because your skills are needed, your gifts are needed. Things that you will struggle so much here for, they're so needed because the population that needs it there is greater, not because they don't know better, but the population is greater, so the needs are greater, the youth are greater, 70% are youth. So there's nothing that we take there intentionally with support. So what I'm saying, I'm giving a call to every investor, everyone that wants a one-stop shop opportunity to get their money to work for them in Africa. They need to look at MFL and see where can they fit in. Where exactly can they fit in? And before you know it, we'll be thinking together, creating our own cities, creating our own environments, and just helping the nation, helping ourselves, and coming here when we feel like it. So we have choices. We need to stop living like people who don't have choices. I get disgusted when I see people act like they don't have choices. Are you going to work hard? Yes. So the Lord says He will prosper your handwork, not who you know. So you better have work in your hand, even if you think you have the relationship currency. So if you have work in your hand, why won't you want to go plant it somewhere where your need, your value will be appreciated? Since January, we have focused a lot of some of the developmental things we do on the continent. You should see the excitement and the passion and the network that we've even built just by doing what we love to do as a company. It's amazing. That has allowed people who were not looking to look for us and to open more doors. So what I'm saying is that if this place is too saturated for you, spread out. Spread out. Don't be afraid. The fear of failure is failure. Go out and just take a chance. And once you've tried it, if it doesn't work, you can say, I tried it. But if you go through the MFL platform, you will fit somewhere. The laboratory of change is another leadership. I mean, you name it, entrepreneurship, everything. It's like a school on its own. Who doesn't want to learn? And we need a lot of teachers. We need a lot of people who can help to educate our people in Africa. Not that we don't know what we're doing, but we need people who, like you said, Dr. Myles, who are already, they've served, they've done everything they can do, and they've won all the accolades, but they can't compete efficiently here. Why can they go be the leader? I tested it since January. That's why when you say I'm busy, my busyness is intentional. It's intentional, impacting lives, not just a miss, because I see the hunger for structures. I see the hunger for things like MFL coming to town where people can have hope. When there's hope, there will be less security challenges. All the fear and the thing that the news broadcasts are the bad news. Who cares about what the news says? People still go and do business. So I'm saying to all of my fellow Black folks, if I can be real, this is not the time to be afraid. This is the time to just give it a shot and do your best. Trust me, Africa is ready for you. Africa is waiting for you. They need more of their children to return home. And when you go like one of them. Don't have too much of a high expectation. Go with a pure heart. See if the Lord will not bless your work. If your intentions are good and your work is good, the Jehovah up there sees and He will reward us accordingly. That's what MFL stands for. And that's why I'm honored that I'm part of it. And I can't wait. Who wants us first? Let's go. Let's go. We're ready.
And we are serious. But Robert, tell me, Mr. Chaplain, why over here we constantly want to go to places that they don't want us in? Why we want to sit at a table they don't want us at the table? Why are we still that way?
Well, I'll tell you, if I could get a dollar for every time I heard that question and wondered out loud. But it's a problem that goes so deep. I was, we're facing with some unique challenges now. We're in the midst of a pandemic that we haven't seen since 1918. And so anybody who has apprehension, who have hesitated, who's paused, I mean, look like this country is going to hell in a handbasket. So you're going to have to, at some point, start looking somewhere else to make your mark and to leave your legacy. I'm not saying that this country is going to fail, but I'm saying it should change your mindset now to start looking other places to plant your flag and your hopes and dreams. So as I look at the MFL and going over to Africa, and I look at the social unrest we're seeing here, we got the pandemic, we got floods, we got fires. This is a perfect time to push that reset button and say, look, this is just a small part of this great world. And then we have a continent like Africa that's the mother of creation, the mother of mankind, and it's ours. It's where we came from. Why not consider Africa? And the MFL is paving the way. It's blazing the trail. It's opening the door for many people who've thought about it. Some people have been Google-eyed to look at the continent of Africa forever. But now here's an opportunity, a rare time in history. We have a Black company headed by Black who are going over to a continent that's inhabited by Blacks. What's not to like? What is not to like about this? And we're not talking about going to a place where there are no resources, there are no opportunities.
Resources.
It is the land of opportunity and resources.
Yeah.
So MFL, you're blazing the trail. You're setting the tone for many companies and other people. And like you said, Mr. Myles, if nobody else goes, that's their loss. MFL is going.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I tell people all the time, the guy was saying, it's this Caucasian guy, told him, said, you need to go back to Africa. I told him, I say, well, where can you go? Where can you go back to? Dr. Myles, don't say that. I said, no, he just made a statement to you, but at least we can go back.
Yeah.
Where can you go? Ain't no place for you to go back to. You don't know where you originated from. So before you say to somebody, where can you go back to? But you know, Dr. Remi, y'all know that I get to talking now.
No, I mean, I
not the way, forget the tailor-made suits now.
Yes.
I told him, I said, but we got somewhere to go back to. But where can you honestly say you can go back to?
And that is where we have the power. The power of origin is one thing that distinguishes us as African people of African descent. No matter where we are and how we got here, there's that sense of origin. At least we know there's a root we have. Mm-hmm. How we get here is not what we're talking about, but we know there's an origin. And when people know their origin, there is a pride that comes with that. There's a confidence that comes with that. And there's that ability to want to do better, to leverage such a place. And that's what's happening right now with MFL. We know there's an origin. The mother Africa is the origin. And look at where you want to take this opportunity. You could have said you want to take it anywhere else. I'm sure if you'd say you're coming any other place, Europe, Asia, they will be all over it. But you're like, I'm taking it back to my origin. So that power of origin is what distinguishes us. And that's what keeps us going. Even when people don't see what you see it. And you're working it, and you're working it. By the time they see it, the whole success is there. And they're like, whoa. But they don't know how long you've been tilling the ground, how long you've been grinding, how long you've been managing those relationship currency and making.
Coming up on 26 years. And they said, we didn't know that. Well, it's new. I say it's new to you, but it's not new.
That is it.
We control the narrative. That's what's important, Robert. We control the narrative.
Yes.
And people feel like, and I tell them all the time, thank God for social media. And we're talking about economic development, jobs, all the stuff being created here can be created in Africa.
Absolutely.
We have apparel. They can do that there.
Yes.
You know,
and I mean, you're right. All of the things.
School for broadcast journalists. We have kids in school for PR, marketing, graphic design, sports management, training. We don't have enough Black sports managers anyway. We don't have them.
Yeah.
But they have nowhere to go and train, but come here to the MFL.
Yeah.
We tell them all the time, Robert, come here.
That's right.
We just like come home, come to us.
Come home, yeah.
Come home. Well, part of the problem has been that it goes back to the training and indoctrination. We have a movement in the United States right now where some of the educators, some of the school systems are actually rewriting history before our eyes to put a whitewash some of the horrible past that the colonializers did to people when they brought them to this country. And so what we have to do, and part of that challenge we talked about earlier, Mr. Myles, Dr. Myles, is that when you think about yourself as sons of slaves or enslaved people versus the sons of kings and queens of Africa, I think it does put a malaise and a ceiling on how much you think you can accomplish. But by breaking down that barrier, that conception, that false narrative, and say, look, home, this is not where we originated, like the good doctor said. We originated from a continent that's the richest in the world.
Yeah.
And by going back, we are reconnecting.
Yeah.
We're going back to a place where we're no stranger.
That's right.
Even though somebody has tried to place a barrier and convince us that we were born as slaves, but we know that's just a fraction, just
Yeah.
a millisecond of our history.
Yeah.
We're the sons of kings.
We are. And the narratives have to be told by us. We have to constantly tell.
You're right, Dr. Remi, because I always say, you're talking about history. No, not your story, but our story. Don't let us tell their story. You know, they always talk about his story. No, we will tell our story, because you know what? Who can tell the story better than us?
Nobody but us. And our young ones, that's where I know we're going to get this right. The younger generation, they wear the pride of their origin in anything and all things that they do. Whether be it on social media, they wear their confidence and their pride of origin 24/7, and they are taking the world by the storm. So if we can just create setups like MFL, Laboratory of Change, and things like that, they can leverage that, but because they already have the mindset. They already know that they're from queens and kings, and nobody dares to say, oh, you are this and that. They know, but we've got to be able to support them, because the economic empowerment will not come till we make a move to do something and to work at it. And when we work at it, the results will come. It will come even before we know it. By the time we focus on the African nation, we have 54, 55 African nations. If all we face is 10 of them, that's a lot. One alone is over 200 million, my country. So many are. I like that. So if we just focus on 10 and leave the others and come back, trust me, there's some people who are ready. You know it. So we need to. Those who are ready are ready. Let's go.
We're going after 16 countries over there.
Yes.
We got 16 here. That will give us the 32. So
that's right.
We bearing great gifts. We are the Trojan horse. Like I say, we coming there to aid our people.
That's right.
As you would state, what we're doing is, Robert, we come to aid our people. We come to enhance what they're doing.
That's right.
We're not coming to take anything. We offer ownership, economic development. You know, teaching all this so-called colonialism education. And I tell people all the time, these are people that educate you, and you ask these are the same people that enslave you, and you ask these same people that educate you. How many educators is that? You know what I mean? And you know, they get me funny. I say, right, these are the same people that brought you over here as slaves.
They're going to educate you.
People that colonize your race, and you ask these same people to educate you. How uneducated is that, Dr. Remi? How uneducated is that?
And the way we're going to get over that is when we start doing our own thing, taking our own companies that's 100% Black owned, taking it to our origin and say, this is where we're planting. And they start seeing the results. Before KFC went to any other place, it took them a while to start going to Africa. Their profitability from Africa, I'm sure it measures up to what they make here. KFC, the same, the Kentucky Fried Chicken. When they go, it takes them forever to want to go. When they go, they don't want to leave, because they make so much money and make so much stuff that they don't want to leave. So same thing. The consumers are there and they need this thing. The middle class are emerging in Africa, and middle class will always do a little extra. It's not just the low and the high. There's the middle class emerging. So not everybody wants to leave their country to come to another country. They want to make a good life within that system. That's where MFL comes in, where we can do what we need to do on our end and make impact from MFL, from the Laboratory of Change. There will be other opportunities. When this white people came once upon a time, they came and used religion as a bait to find the choicest places in Africa. And by the time they came back, they picked the choicest places. So we can go and do what we need to do to ensure that our brothers and sisters see that we are there together to make our lives better, not just theirs. It's all of us collectively, because it's home. And I'm so counting down to when we make that first move, because the 16 are set, are ready. When we start that one, America will be awake.
And you know, I often say, you think about it, Black people are the biggest consumers in America. $1 trillion a year go to our hands. Can you imagine taking $1 trillion to Africa?
Man.
I mean, you have money, person. Can you imagine $1 trillion taken to Africa? $1 trillion.
Man.
Take 30% of that to Africa.
But see, the good thing about it, though, when you're talking in terms of finances, taking the $1 trillion, that's just the spending power. Now, that's not the potential of what that $1 trillion can generate.
That's right.
That's going to be exponential. We're talking about even greater number when you take that as just the foundation of the spending power. You start talking about investment and turning that into a spending and money-making machine. It has such unlimited potential. It reminds me of when the doctor was speaking about people coming to Africa, the great scholar, Dr. John Henrik Clark. He said, no European ever came to Africa to do it any good. And so when I look at Africa through the lens of somebody in the United States, and you think about the diamonds, the oil, the cobalt, and then to look at the condition some of the national people are living under, I think it's abominable. It's an abomination. I think that it's time for somebody to come into the continent with the best interest of the people in mind. Not just to rape and pillage and to abuse and extract the resources, take them back home, then pay the people their pennies on the dollar. No, somebody needs to come in with their own interest that's a parallel and aligned with the interests of the people who are there. And so when we think about, and then the other thing that good doctor was saying, that the young people are watching. They're like sponges now. Unfortunately, the people they have to look up to are usually basketball players and rappers, and they're doing the best they can. But we're talking about leaders in finance and entrepreneurship and global trade. They're looking for a place to hitch their wagon. They have this energy, and now they're looking for us to be that leader. In the same spirit of Madam C.J. Walker and others before her, we have to pick up that mantle and move forward with this power of economic ownership, legacy building. And the good thing about it, we don't have to do it here in the United States alone. We have an entire continent over there in which to plant this seed and fertilize it and grow it.
That's right. Fertilize and grow. Absolutely.
And we have to stop waiting for people to tell us it's okay to do something. We don't need anybody to tell us anything. We don't need your permission to do anything. And that is some of the things that I think people of color over here, that's their main problem. They think they need people's permission. Why is that, Robert?
Well, it reminds me of the you ever see the in the circus where they have the elephant and they have that electrical wire around them, and then the elephant bumps into it a couple of times and gets burned. After a while, you can just remove the wire because he's not going to move. He's afraid to get burned. Right. Well, unfortunately, many people in our community that they still have that mental wire around them because of so many years of being abused and degraded and used. We have to, while we build this economic foundation, we have to continue through outlets like the MFL radio show, is to continually let people know it's okay. We have to erase that wire. We have to move that mental barrier so people can feel comfortable taking chances, supporting our own businesses, our own community, bringing our young people into a new mindset of ownership instead of just working to get a watch and to retire after 30 years. We have to embrace a new day of ownership, and not just ownership of in our country, but building a foundation that can cross, that's international. Right. And so that is so great about this moment. This is I'll say this until I'm blue in the face. This is a moment like no other moment that we have seen in our lifetimes, and we may not see it again. That's why I'm excited about it. Whether it passes, fails, I think if nothing else, if it does nothing but change the mindset of people to get them to go out here and try, that alone is success.
So well said. A mind is a terrible thing to waste right now. Everything is conceived in your mind. And when you take action with your mind and work at it, you get your results. And that is what is happening. Thank God for social media. When you observe what's going on, like Dr. Myles said.
Just around
Marketing is not something you don't have to say, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. Do what you have and do it consistently. Trust me, somebody is watching you, not just in one place, all over the world. And you will be surprised and amazed when they would show up and ask you things, and they'll be watching you. You don't know who is watching you. You know who you are watching. So social media makes it so good. So just do you. Stay in your lane and constantly project what you want to project. The right people will find you, and together you can build that consensus that is needed. MFL is a game changer. And as soon as we can begin to take the next steps to show the deliverables that are there aligned for us, the landscape of Black people will change. Because it takes one person to be a lead person to say, you know what, I'm taking opportunity here. Yes, I'm not familiar with the marketplace, but yes, I know people. Why do you have diaspora? Why do you have friends who maybe were born there? Some of us were born there, but we've been here for 40 years or 30 something years. So we are more here than there. So why can we leverage one another? Back to that good old trust, until we begin to trust one another and give ourselves an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to give my 100% and damn the consequence. Most of the time, most people are not bad people. It's just a portion of the people that are bad. So you should never let such people scare you from a continent that is full of milk and honey, a continent that is just amazingly beautiful. The young people, Dr. Myles, oh my God, those young people are so smart. They even know the computer. Sometimes when they do things, I'm wondering, whoa, they are so creative. They are more hungry for knowledge than anybody. They will get it anyway. Some would not have life. They will find ways to improvise, and you will see them delivering quality graphics, quality write-ups. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, with all of this impediment. So can you imagine, picture MFL being there, Laboratory of Change, and all the other entities we're going to create there. Can you picture that? Can you picture how hope would rise in such a community, how crime would diminish, and success will be all over, and even America will benefit, because some of the good of the land will be brought back here. And together the world will become a better place. I cannot wait for that day. And thanks to people like you who dare to do something different and unique, and we will get it done by the grace of God.
Absolutely. I tell people all the time, you know, I'm the guy, I'm a maverick. I'm gone. I'll worry about getting back when I get there, but I'm going to do so good. There'll be no need for me to come back.
Right.
That I am. I've always been that way. And I tell people, this is hard here. It's not hard there.
Yeah.
We already should. We done passed the test of time here. It's very difficult here, but we made it. Now we're back. Now, when you imagine, you see these people of color getting off these boats now, okay, and come and embrace Africa and say, okay, we back home. Okay, the sons of the real kings.
Yes.
Here we go right here. We are the descending. And that's what people don't understand. And I know that people in Africa are looking forward to that. They know they hear about we coming. And Dr. Charles Olawale said that the African Union over there, they want to do a big press conference over there. Dr. Remi, the different kings, they want to handle all the media. They want to do it over here. They're excited. They're excited.
Yes, the excitement is there. And that's priceless. And we will get it done. The excitement cannot go away.
And they call for help, and we answer. Like as I told you, Dr. Remi, on your show, the MFL will answer the call.
Yes.
You ain't got to yell no more. We'll answer the call.
That's right.
And we'll come.
And that is it.
And we'll come. And that's what people, you know, that's all the buzz is about now. You know,
right.
Gatewood, the MFL going after. Yes. And we keeping it going. We have people on our show all the time, and they're talking about how glad they are that the MFL is coming to Africa. And everybody looking at us and say, wait a minute, they're going. Yeah, we're going.
We are going big time.
Well, you said something that's very good there, Mr. Myles. You said it's hard to do it here, because that doesn't mean it's going to be harder over there, because if you can succeed over here in where you face obstacles that you would probably face nowhere else. And I mean, like I say, I'm not one of these folks that are going to bash the country in which we live, because we know this is opportunity here, just like there is anywhere else, if you would just grab it. But at the same time, we're no fools. We know there's some obstacles. We know there's some people that are determined to try to keep their feet and knees physically on your neck. But this is a good training ground. This is a good place to cut your teeth. And when you come out of here succeeding, you can probably succeed anywhere in the world, including in the continent of Africa.
Absolutely.
We feel
and not only that, you have your brothers and sisters welcoming you.
I don't look at it.
Come home.
You know, we home.
Yes, that's just the beauty, the excitement that they would even share with you and embrace you. It's priceless. It connects you.
I have so many of the different kings I met over there, and they had embraced me so much. They say, "Hey, we can't wait to see you come. We're gonna do this and that. We're gonna make you a
chief."
Yeah, they say we can't wait till you come.
You have a new name too, yeah.
Chief Dr. Myles.
They you know, the fact that we're not coming. We have no alternative motive other than what we say we're coming to do.
Sure.
You know, that's the great thing about the MFL.
Right.
It's like in the Bible when God say, when I come, I'm going to come like a thief in the night.
Yeah.
Amen.
Because my reason for doing that, I want to see you as you truly are. I don't want you to clean up and put your best outfit on and pretend. I want to see you as you really are.
That's right.
That's what MFL doing. We coming. We don't want no brag. You don't got to do that. We coming.
Yeah.
We coming.
We are coming. We are coming. I mean, and that's the thing. The MFL is a setup. Is a structure. Is a system that's going to be transported in a wholesome way, because there's so many auxiliary opportunities around it under the same management, that now, whether you're worrying about trust, is a one-stop shop. You fit in where you belong and you keep moving. So it's going to help us. And those investors who are listening, or people who want to have their money growing for them, the bank is not giving you that much interest rate right now. So you might as well put your money where something good can come out of it and where you can make better return on your money. I say that in a joking way, but I mean it seriously. And take a chance on something that's guaranteed to work if you work it. With the way we're trained as Americans and the way our work ethics, there's nowhere in the world that we cannot live when we're uprooted from here. Our work ethics here is second to none. Yes. And we carry the same work ethics and populate a community with such. Picture that. And that's what we're going to do, because these people are going to end up being employees. So we need to recruit from the community. So we're going to train them. So the whole world will just be so beautiful. I can't wait. This is just, the thought of it gets me really, really excited.
And the beauty of it is, people lie, numbers don't. Numbers don't lie.
That's right.
We bring in numbers don't lie. Numbers do not lie.
Yeah.
I always said, and you know that something I always say, Dr. Remi, and you know that, Robert, documentation beat conversation.
Every time.
We're not going to talk about what we're going to do. This is what we've already done. We're a proven commodity. We coming there with a proven concept.
Yeah.
That even over here, they still scratching their head and wonder how to pull this off. You know.
Let them keep scratching.
It's hard going back home with it.
That's right. Home is ready for us.
Back home.
Yeah.
I mean, we showed it to y'all, but you don't get to keep it. We taking it back. Just
That's right.
We do, trying to do with the panda bears, you graze them and everything, and then trying to take them bears back. And you pay China, what, 2 or 3 million a year that panda stay here?
That's funny. Man, you preaching. You preaching, brother. You preaching.
You know, y'all get me started there, Dr. Remi.
We won't let you go that way.
But I'm just, y'all can tell I'm always fired up when I talk about it. It's never a downside to me, because, you know, I'm very sincere.
Yeah.
Everybody know me. The first thing they say, we can tell you're sincere.
Yeah.
And I got great people like yourselves with us. I'm not coming by myself.
No.
Ain't no way.
And that's what you've got. You've got a great team around you, and you have good eyes to attract good people. So it's a gift. So with all of that combined, and you're not an eye, you don't have that eye syndrome. You want everybody that is going to add value to come together and make it a win-win. So it's like building an army. Together we succeed, and success is all we're going to strive for.
And I was always smart enough to know, Robert, strength in numbers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. It's strength in numbers. We can try to go out here and operate on an island by ourselves, but when you surround yourself with good people and people who are on the same mission and the same purpose, some great things will happen. I was thinking that we were talking, and I'm sure there's some people out in the listening audience who say, "Look, I'm not able to make the trek across the water. I'm planted here." But I remember the words of Booker T. Washington. He said, "Cast your bucket where you are." You can make an impact wherever you are, whether you're in the United States, whether you're in Africa. There's many things you can do here to support our efforts and the efforts of our community, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. If you can join the MFL or become a stakeholder in some way, you will be virtually, if no other way, over in Africa right along with the rest of us. But you can support. You can buy tickets. You can join some of these great teams and support, buy from the community, share this broadcast, and just help get the word out. So there is a bucket that you can cast wherever you are. Support the mission of the MFL and our community at large.
Yes, indeed. MFL is on the move. Africa, here we come.
Yeah, the Excellency, Dr. Eubank Chancellor, I had her laughing, Dr. Remi, because I said we can do so many things. I was telling about the program that I had. People always, we don't have money. I told about my program. If you donate $1, you produce a scholar. So people send me checks. I send the checks back because we asked for $1. You know what everybody say? You can't do nothing with $1. That don't make no sense. So, but if I'd have asked them for $100 or $50, they would have said they didn't have it. She bust up. I never thought about that. That's why I say if you donate $1, you'll produce a scholar.
Mm-hmm.
Follow what I'm saying? See, we didn't ask for a lot of money.
Yes.
You got mad. But if we asked you for a certain amount of money, you would say you ain't got it.
That's right. You can't please the world.
Oh, boy.
That's the great thing about the MFL. I also want to thank my guest today, Dr. Remi. Tell the MFL Nation how to get in contact with you, because your business is very important other than the MFL. Tell them how they can get in contact with you.
Yes, you can reach us through the legacypremier.org. That's our nonprofit. That's where we're doing a lot of our local and international development work. So you can find us on that www.legacypremier.org. Thank you.
Good. Welcome. And Robert, our money guru that keeps our eyes on the prize.
Well, thank you again, Dr. Myles and Dr. Remi. I can listen to Dr. Remi talk all day, man. She's so inspirational and full of energy and knowledge. Just glad to have her part of the team today.
Thank you.
My company is Gatewood Marketing and Well, but I have a radio TV show that comes on every Friday at 10:30. This past week, we talked about scaling your business, how to get your business ready for IPs and IPO and venture capitalists, and how to make early steps in the development of that business, how to get it ready to scale. So those are the kind of topics we talk about on a weekly basis on how to start a business, how to grow it, and how to build these generational wealth and put people to work. That's what the show is all about, and why I'm so glad to be aligned with the MFL. We share a similar mission of building this wealth and putting people to work in our community. The show is on every Friday at 10:30. It's themarketingpulpit.com. We have all the past shows there, and you can find out a bit about me and the co-host and some of the guests. And I'm glad to have Dr. Remi, like to extend an invitation to get you on the show one day.
All right, awesome. I'll love to come. Let me know.
And that's our money man that makes sure people understand that we're about generational wealth.
Yeah.
where we want out. It's not about us no more. We didn't get all of the things that we do, and by the help of the Lord, He keeping us here because we still have more work to do. But we standing on people's shoulders.
Yeah.
You can always get in contact with us. Our website, the MFLishere.com. Our email is experiencedmfl@gmail.com. We're on all the social media platforms. We also have the show Inside the MFL. We come on Wednesdays and Fridays from 5 to 6, and Saturday mornings at 11 o'clock through DC Radio. I'm excited about what we're doing, ladies and gentlemen. You know, this is something special, and we want everybody to understand that the MFL is here. And I say this, a lot of people say I'm so forward. The MFL is here, whether you want to accept it or not. You can be a part of it or a victim of it. We really don't care because we're going to push on with this thing. And the MFL is the laboratory of change. I want to thank my guest, Dr. Remi. I want to thank my guest, Robert Gatewood, for being on. And I'll see you Friday. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Blessings.
Blessings.
Mm-hmm.